Today we are diving into one of those long-running debates that has kept gun counters and range benches buzzing for generations: the Ruger Mini-14 versus the AR-15. Both rifles have earned their place in American gun culture. The AR-15, born in the late 1950s and later transformed into the military's M16 during the early 1960s, became nothing short of a legend. The Ruger Mini-14, introduced in 1973 by Bill Ruger and Jim Sullivan, the very same designer who played a key role in developing the M16, took heavy design cues from the battle-proven M1 Garand and M14, both famous for their rugged build and rock-solid reliability. These days, the AR-15 dominates the spotlight, thanks to its aggressive appearance and the almost endless aftermarket customization scene. But here is where I will push back a little, because for a lot of shooters, the Mini-14 can actually be the more practical rifle. First off, it has a clean, classic sporting rifle profile. On the surface, it looks like a traditional hunting gun, but make no mistake, it is a semi-automatic workhorse chambered in an intermediate cartridge. That matters more than most folks realize. In today's environment, how a rifle looks can influence how people react to it. A Mini-14 will raise far fewer eyebrows when slung over your shoulder at the range, riding in your truck, or getting checked in at a public event than a fully accessorized AR-15. If you live in a state with tighter firearms regulations or simply prefer to keep a low visual profile, the Mini's conservative styling works in your favor. And let's be honest, it is a handsome rifle. On the performance front, the Mini-14 is no slouch. It is dependable, accurate enough for most real-world applications, and built tough enough to handle abuse. Sure, it lacks the sheer flood of aftermarket parts available for the AR platform, but as a general-purpose all-terrain rifle, it absolutely delivers. Both rifles, however, carry their own history. When the M16 first saw combat, it developed a reputation for jamming, largely due to a change in ammunition powder and the mistaken belief that it required little to no cleaning. Many troops were even sent into the field without cleaning kits. The Mini-14 sidesteps many of those headaches with its operating system. It uses a short-stroke, self-cleaning gas piston, which stays cleaner and keeps running smoothly under adverse conditions, far more forgiving than the AR-15's direct impingement setup. Mud, grit, dust, rain, the Mini just keeps cycling. That's exactly why it has a loyal following among ranchers, backcountry hunters, and anyone who needs a no-nonsense rifle that will function in unpredictable, rough environments. To put things in simpler terms, the AR-15's direct impingement gas system routes hot propellant gases straight back into the bolt carrier group. That does cycle the action, but it also dumps carbon fouling right where the moving parts live, meaning residue builds up quickly. If you do not stay on top of your cleaning routine, that buildup can eventually cause stoppages. The Ruger Mini-14 takes a different approach. It vents those gases forward and away from the bolt, drastically reducing carbon deposits and making the rifle much easier to keep running. If you are the kind of shooter who prefers not to break down and scrub your rifle after every single range trip, this difference is worth paying attention to. Another point in the Mini-14's favor is its cold hammer-forged barrel, which adds serious durability and extends barrel life. For those operating in damp, humid, or salt-heavy coastal environments, Ruger also offers stainless steel models straight from the factory. That finish will not make the rifle completely immune to rust, but it absolutely improves its odds against corrosion. Some folks like to bring up Mini-14 reliability issues, but that reputation is mostly undeserved. The vast majority of malfunctions come from cheap, poorly made aftermarket magazines, not from the rifle's design. Stick with Ruger's own factory magazines, and you will find the Mini-14 runs like a champ. In truth, both the Mini-14 and the AR-15 are extremely reliable rifles when fed quality mags and given proper maintenance. The Mini-14 also earns points for its trim and balanced layout. Put a standard fixed-stock Mini-14 next to a Colt Model 6920, and you will notice they are nearly identical in both length and weight, right in the same ballpark as an M4 carbine. However, the Mini's recoil system sits entirely within the receiver and forend instead of extending into the stock, meaning there is no need for a long buffer tube. That opens the door for more compact stock configurations, including folders that are perfect for transport or storage. Ruger even produced a factory folding stock back in the day, think classic A-Team style, and while it is no longer in their catalog, companies like Samsung now offer excellent modern reproductions. And here is something most shooters overlook. The Mini-14 sight radius is actually longer than that of a typical AR-15. Because the Mini's front sight is mounted almost right at the muzzle, you get more distance between your front and rear sights, which can translate into better iron sight accuracy. Even AR builds with mid-length gas systems tend to have shorter sight radii thanks to their forward sight base being set farther back. When it comes to overall value, the Ruger Mini-14 holds its own. You often hear that the AR-15 gives you more performance for the dollar, and yes, it is possible to pick up or build a solid AR for under $1,000. But for many shooters, a quality AR means going with a top-tier brand, and that can easily push the price to $1,500 or beyond. A brand new Mini-14 generally sells in the ballpark of $1,000, and used examples frequently show up for considerably less if you take the time to hunt around. What you get is a rifle that is rugged, uncomplicated, and ready to perform without pouring more money into upgrades. For the shooter who wants a dependable rifle straight from the box, without diving into the endless aftermarket parts scene, the Mini-14 offers excellent long-term value. Another advantage the Mini-14 brings is stock adaptability. Without a buffer tube protruding from the rear of the receiver, you are free to choose from a wide range of stock configurations. Folding stocks, in particular, are a standout option. Ruger's original side folders earned a cult following, and today Samsung manufactures licensed reproductions that are both highly functional and enjoyable to shoot. Fold it up for compact storage, extend it for solid ergonomics, it just works. My own Mini-14 originally wore a tough black synthetic stock. It was practical but lacked character, so I swapped it for a walnut factory stock a buddy had lying around. That simple change completely transformed both the handling and appearance of the rifle. The Mini's stock versatility is a major selling point, especially for shooters who like to put their own personal touch on their firearms. So why might someone choose a Mini-14 over an AR-15? For starters, it is a cleaner-running, mechanically simpler design that does not project the overtly military aesthetic. It is an excellent choice for anyone wanting a workhorse rifle that can handle the job without drawing too much attention. Whether you are walking a fence line, spending an afternoon plinking, or just want a well-rounded semi-automatic rifle, the Mini-14 can get it done. While it may lack the tactical image and vast customization market of the AR-15, it makes up for it with straightforward dependability and a certain old-school charm. Now, I want to hear from you. Are you Team Mini-14? Or do you stick with the AR platform? Share your thoughts in the comments, tap that like button, and be sure you are subscribed for more down-to-earth firearms reviews and breakdowns. See you in the next one.